Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much everyone for joining me here tonight. Here's your fourth stimulus check update, fourth stimulus package update, and daily news report. Please watch until the end of this video to learn how you can enter my $100 Walmart gift card giveaway. Thank you so much everyone. Late last week, the House of Representatives Ways and Means Committee just released a statement informing the public that lawmakers have decided to include an extension of the child tax credit's current structure through the year 2025. After seeing much success of the program after just one payment, many legislatures are eager to have this extension passed. These payments will become increasingly important in the coming months as more than millions of households may see their incomes plummet because federal unemployment programs and eviction moratoriums have expired. Many supporters of the bill were feeling more optimistic about its passage before Senator Joe Manchin argued that a strategic pause should be taken in the negotiations. The West Virginia senator's vote is needed to pass the legislation, as Democrats will use the reconciliation process to make these new benefits law. Senator Joe Manchin has stated that he will support a package of this nature if it's fully paid for, which in its current form it is. However, Manchin disagrees with some of the tax increases and fees that would cover the cost of the new spending bill. Right now, Americans are no longer protected from evictions or receiving beefed up unemployment payments, but they are still benefiting from many other federal rescue measures. More support may be on the way as Democrats on Capitol Hill hammer out a 10-year, $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill that would greatly expand the nation's safety net programs. Yet, passage of that legislation is not guaranteed, and while the economy is in better shape than it was in earlier months, many families are still struggling to get back on their feet.
As Representative Dean had mentioned earlier, we had just experienced devastating floods for which my district was ground zero in New York City on the floods from Hurricane Ida. And this has been a travesty in my district. We have lost 12 people in these floods. And the connection here is that in almost every person lost to the floods, it was related to our housing crisis. The lack of available housing stock and the fear of eviction has existed even prior to the pandemic, and the pandemic has only made it worse to the point that people are seeking alternatives to the housing stock that are often dangerous. Now, that being said, speaking about those longstanding inequities, many low-income renters struggle to make ends meet even before the pandemic. And with the lapsing of unemployment, the striking of the eviction moratorium, all of these things have placed renters in an even more perilous position. We've discussed about some of the difficulties, and the committee has addressed some of the difficulties in state implementation, but I also want to talk a little bit about the difficulties in getting these funds out with a small segment, the segment of landlords who are refusing to participate in emergency rental assistance. Now, Ms. Yentl, is there evidence that lack of tenant participation is a widespread problem for the emergency? So if you are a tenant and you want to make right on your back rent, and you apply for the emergency rental assistance program, if your landlord has been trying to get you out, they can refuse in the majority of programs to accept your rental assistance and evict you and use that as grounds to evict you. Is that correct?
That is correct. And we're seeing some very egregious cases of tenants showing up in eviction court, say with the emergency rental assistance in their hands, and the landlord saying, I don't want it, and the judge allowing the eviction to move forward.
So it seems as though we have a very urgent issue, and I very much am so thankful to see Chair Waters address these issues. Now, my last question is, what types of enforcement mechanisms should we be exploring to ensure that the tenant protections in this bill are adhered to by landlords?
Although the federal eviction moratorium expired in August, roughly 90% of the $46 billion in federal emergency rent relief money is still available as of last month. The funds, which started flowing in January of this year, have been slow to reach those in need. Typically, renters must apply for the money, but the process varies by state, many of which have had to build new administrative systems to distribute the money. Eligibility is based on households' financial situation and housing needs. This money can be used to cover rent, utilities, late fees, and also moving expenses. Tens of millions of American families will receive 4 more monthly child tax credit payments as part of Congress's enhancement to the program for 2021. The next installment, up to $300 for each child up to age 6 and $250 for each one age 6 through 17, will be sent next week. That's an increase from the regular child tax credit of up to $2,000 for each kid up to age 17. Parents will receive half their credit this year and can claim the other half when they file their 2021 taxes next year. After just one child tax credit payment, which was sent out in July, nearly 90% of families in the United States with children receive these credits. The full enhanced credit is available for heads of households earning $112,500 and joint filers making up to $150,000 a year, after which it then begins to phase out. More low-income parents are also eligible for the child tax credit this year because Democrats' March relief package made it fully refundable. The Internal Revenue Service sent more than $15 billion to parents of roughly 61 million children in August. Payments on federal student loans have not been required since March 2020. Repayment is set to resume in February of next year after an unprecedented 23-month freeze. During this time, borrowers' balances have effectively been frozen because interest has also stopped adding up, saving the average borrower about $2,000 over the first year, and collections on defaulted debt have been on hold. The relief is even more significant for those who work in the public sector and may be eligible for loan forgiveness after 10 years. They are still receiving credit towards those 10 years of required payments, as if they had continued to make them during the crisis, as long as they are still working full-time for qualifying employers. So everyone, how do you think that more relief should be provided to the American people? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. The key word for this video is pie. Please enter my $100 Walmart gift card giveaway by subscribing to my channel, commenting below this keyword, and also liking this video. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a very blessed weekend.